Women's Wisdom Wednesday. We are talking out of Justin's book, What Really Works with Men. This book is not being published anymore, but you still might be able to find it. With Father's Day coming up soon, the month of June, we wanted to talk a little bit about the man in your life. Let's talk about that and what's going on. A lot of you have forgotten that when you commit and there's no back door, there's no exit ramp, there's no way out, you have a better relationship. It's when you waver, should I, shouldn't I? Oh, there he goes again. Nah, 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 nah. No, be committed and notice the freedom it has for you. Don't be committed and stay in a relationship and complain. That's not commitment. That really isn't. I wanted to read a little excerpt out of the book that helps us kind of understand that side of the man that we're trying to work with. So, let me just take a look here. Clashing agendas. This is where it comes up, friends. A man enters a serious, long-term committed relationship with a simple, straightforward agenda. Remember, men are simple. They're easy. We are complicated, multifaceted, change our minds all the time, and kind of are never really satisfied. I hate to say it, ladies, but we have this trait. He expects to make you happy. He wants to perform in a way that pleases you. Knowing that he has pleased you and being recognized and appreciated for doing that gratifies his ego. Remember, men have a bigger ego. I shouldn't say bigger, but one we might have to cater to a little bit to understand. And this goes for any relationship. Any relationship. Ego is for one person. If both people are in their ego, relationship destroyed. So know that of yourself. You might have to take the high road more often than you want. But do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? Okay, back to the task at hand. When he hears or sees that you are happy with what he has offered you, or at least not unhappy about it, it feeds the fantasies his ego generates about him. It makes him feel special, unique, heroic, and prepared to take on any challenges he faces. He feels like a winner, and that feeling is the reward he hopes to obtain when he enters an intimate relationship. But when your agenda, when your agenda is to get what you want, when you want it, regardless of your man's terms and natural inclinations, you make it impossible for him to get his rewards. Instead of accepting your man as he is, or accepting and being pleased with what he has to offer, you try to change him. What do I always tell you guys? You can't change anyone but your reaction to the situation. Where was I? Instead of accepting your man, you try to change him. Or you use his agenda against him. The newspaper you take every available opportunity to tell your man how unhappy you are and to make sure he knows that he is failing to please you. This is a huge no-no. Instead of feeling like a winner, he now feels like a failure. And if the source of your discontent is something your man can't do anything about, something that is contrary to his basic nature, he feels impotent and useless. Why should he try to please someone who makes him feel that way? When you try to control a man, and listen, put anybody in there. When you try to control a friend, when you try to control a boss, when you try to control yourself, your kid, put anybody in there. When you try to control a man and compel him to be in a relationship on your terms, you are putting him in a position to choose between doing what you want and being who he is. Remember that of anyone. Maintaining his self-respect and gratifying his ego. If he sells out and does things your way, even though there is no reward in it for him, his ego gets deflated. His spirit gets broken. He loses the masculine energy that attracted you to him in the first place. If he chooses his ego and his self-respect in order to defend his ego or get it boosted elsewhere, he will pull away from you, fight with you, resist you from every step of the way, and ultimately prevent you from being successful or satisfied in your relationship. Either way, you lose. When you withhold the reward your man hopes to obtain from the relationship, his interest in you and efforts to please you will diminish, or he'll continue trying to please you at the expense of his masculine identity. So you can see that when we try to shape someone into looking like what we want them to look like, you're taking their power away from them. It can be your friend. It can be your man. It can be your kid. You want to collaborate with people. You don't want to cut a bitch down. Collaborate with them. Work with them. How do we do this? I see a problem here. What do you think? How can we work on this together? Notice how we interlooped that person into the conversation and we incorporated them in the solution. We didn't say, do this, do that, da, da, da. There's ways we can go about it to get what you want. The ultimate goal, remember that trine, is the third entity of relationship. It doesn't matter if it's your friend, if it's your partner, if it's your boss. We still want the relationship to be successful. What else can I tell you? Be long-term vision oriented. Use what you know about men in general and your man in particular to manage your relationship, to nurture it and care for it in a way that will enable you to be successful, productive, and satisfied in the long haul. That will sometimes mean not getting exactly what you want at the precise moment you want it. So instant gratification is at hand here. If you can be patient, you will get what you want, but not in your timing. So as the relationship manager, yeah, that's us. Remember, that's you. You must be willing to sacrifice short-term rewards for the sake of long-term results. Be irresistible. Stop giving your man reasons to resist. Stop putting him in a position to compete with you. Okay, I think I've gotten my point across. I don't need to read from this lovely book anymore. And by the way, this book is fantastic. Is every word perfect? No. This book was written in the 80s, maybe the late 70s. And there are some corrections I'm going to talk about here, but for the most part, it's about putting your ego away, taking the high road, accepting people for exactly who they are, including yourself, and really working with that energy. Thanks for being with me. And if you need more on support with men, give me a call.